Today, we're gonna be making one of the most unhinged jerky flavors we have ever attempted. We're taking one of my favorite steaks, the T-bone, and turning it into jerky with the bone still in it. If this works, this could be one of the best steakhouse jerkies we've ever made. If it fails, it could be a complete waste of my time and a lot of money. But stay to the end because I'm adding a finishing dust that'll change the whole batch. Let's get into it. Here's the thing. So I'm usually a ribeye guy. That is my go-to every time I want a steak. But when I went to a steakhouse the other day, I saw T-bones and realized I hadn't had one in forever. So that's kind of the one I kind of mix up once in a while. A T-bone is pretty much two steaks in one. You're gonna get a strip on the one side, and then you're gonna get a tenderloin, a fillet, right on the other. That way you get the best of both worlds in one steak. So I got one the other day, and that's when the idea hit me. What if I tried to turn this T-bone into jerky and see if the bone side makes it even better or if it ruins it? So today, you and I are gonna find out. All right, so here's the format. We got thin sliced T-bones from a butcher. We had them pre-cut for us. And then we're gonna use a classic jerky marinade built around soy sauce, Worcestershire, and A1 for a little bit of tang and pepper. Go ahead and bring all the you shouldn't put steak sauce on a steak energy you want, because number one, I'm here for it. And number two, this is jerky, not fine dining experience, so just chill out. Then we'll put a little extra seasoning right before drying to add a little extra steaky flavor. And finally, we'll bring in the taste tester to try it for the first time to get their thoughts. Then one honest question. Is this something jerky.com should add to our lineup or not? The plan here is simple. We're gonna try to build a marinade that tastes like steak sauce and hopefully a jerky that rivals all of our other flavors. But there's three targets we need to hit to pull that off. Bold flavor without a long ingredient list, a jerky texture unlike anything else we've made before, and a chew that's easy to eat while still having that jerky toughness. Now, one thing to keep an eye on, the thick spot near the bone is gonna take a little longer to finish than the thin edges. So we'll control the thickness, the spacing, and the heat, then we'll let time just do its job. Now here's a quick rundown of the ingredients. First, we got thin sliced bone-in T-bones. These are about 3/16 of an inch. Then 1 cup of soy sauce, half a cup of Worcestershire, half a cup of A1 steak sauce, 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar, a teaspoon of liquid smoke, 2 teaspoons of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of smoked paprika, a half teaspoon of red pepper flakes, and finally, a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Now, before mixing this together, let's talk about why this cut of meat is the whole show here. A T-bone gives you a strip on one side and a tenderloin on the other. That's why you get two different steaks in one piece of T-bone. Then the bone sits in the middle like a divider. That divider kind of creates the problem spot. The little channel there really loves to hold moisture, and moisture loves to mess up the texture of your jerky. Now here's a quick butcher note. If you have a butcher slice this for you, ask for exactly what you want. Don't say, kind of thin. Don't say, close enough. Tell them the number. This one here, we told them 3/16 of an inch. Now thickness decides everything here. So if the slices run thick near the bone, it's gonna mess up the entire batch of jerky. Let's get to mixing. All right, the soy sauce goes in first. Now that salt really builds the base and then helps move the flavor in. Worcestershire goes in next to add a deep, deep savoriness. Then the A1 goes in. This will add a little bit of tang, a little bit of pepper, plus a flavor people quickly recognize. I think it'll make for good jerky. Then brown sugar. The payoff here is just enough sweetness to help balance out the savory flavors. Then garlic powder goes in because who doesn't love a little garlic flavor? Then onion powder fills out the back end. Black pepper, because jerky without pepper feels unfinished. Smoked paprika for a little added color and a soft smoke flavor. Red pepper flakes for just a little bit of heat. A splash of liquid smoke for that added smoke flavor without firing up a smoker. I know you can beat me up for this in the comments. Then vinegar goes in last to lift that finish and keep the sauce mix from feeling too heavy. Now whisk it all up. Now you're looking for one smooth dark mix here. You're not looking for sugar clumps. You're not looking for little islands of spices. If you see clumps, keep going. Those clumps end up sticking to the meat and dry into little nuggets. Trust me, you don't want that. Then the meat goes in. Slide those slices into the bowl and really separate them with your hands. Don't drop them in like a big stack of papers. You want each slice to have contact with the marinade. You want the slices sitting under the liquid, not floating on top. Finally, just cover it up and refrigerate it. Your time window here is about 24 to 48 hours. I try to push it close to that 48-hour time, but do what works for you. What matters here is contact time and salt time. Let that flavor build up while you sleep. All right, now it's been 2 days on this, almost 48 hours exactly. So the bowl comes out. First thing you're gonna notice is the smell. You want it really savory and really tangy. It really has those steak sauce vibes in this one. Either way, this still dries into jerky, but the balance really shifts on the flavor for this one. One thing I learned here, and a slight change that I would make next time I make this. Usually when we marinate meat, we have sliced meat that really takes the shape of the bowl. That makes it really easy to completely cover all of the meat in the marinade. But in this one, the bones are so big, it doesn't allow it to go all the way to the bottom. So I had to turn this quite a bit, about 6 different times over the last 48 hours. I would turn this to make sure the marinade was covering meat on the bottom. I don't know, this one's just a little different when you're marinating bone-in jerky. Now all we gotta do is load the racks. Just lift a slice out of the bowl, let that excess marinade kind of drip back into the bowl for a few seconds, then place it right on the rack. Now you want to keep the pieces flat and keep them separated. You really want air to have a path all around every edge. No overlap, no folded edges, no corners tucked underneath. If 2 pieces touch, they dry like one thicker piece. That turns the finish into a guessing game. So we don't want to guess today. Make sure nothing's touching. Next is the secret add-on that I mentioned earlier. We're going to use cowboy butter seasoning. We're going to put it on right before we put it in the dehydrator. Why? It adds a little bit of garlic butter flavor to the jerky. Season that first side with a light even layer. Then I'm going to flip it and season the second side the exact same way. I'm aiming for a little bit of coverage here, not like a thick blanket of seasoning. If you pile it on, it turns into a paste in the wetter spots near the bone. Paste dries really uneven, so uneven texture could ruin the consistency of the jerky. Now the racks go into your jerky making machine. For this one, I'm gonna do 167 degrees. I'm gonna put it for 6 hours, but I'm gonna start checking it about 3 hours in. Since this has never been done before, I'm not sure the exact time on this, but again, I kind of expect 6, maybe as long as 10 hours, but there is no telling. We'll check back in a little bit. I'll see you then. All right, 3.5 hours later, let's check this out. Okay, starting to set up a little bit. It's got some time to go here on some of these thicker parts, but I think we're getting there. A few more hours and we'll check it again. All right, after about 7 hours here at 167 degrees, the T-bone should look smaller, darker, and have that classic jerky look and texture. Now let a piece cool down for a little bit and then bend it. If it cracks with white fibers, that's how you know you're done. If it bends like rubber, give it 45 more minutes or so, check it again. Once it passes, let it cool down for a little while. Do not judge it while it's hot. And with that said, time to bring in the taste testers. All right, guys, taste test time. This is bone-in T-bone jerky. Tell me what you expect bone-in jerky to be like. Do you think the bone's gonna add some flavor, or do you think it's gonna make the texture a little harder to nail?
I do think it's gonna add some flavor.
All right, pick it up. Tell me what you guys think of the texture.
It's crazy. Grab a whole slab. Well, it has like a little handle to it, you know?
Oh, built in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a little surface tackiness, right? Just a little bit. All right, take a bite. All right, what's your initial reaction?
I think it's delicious. I think it's so good.
Yeah, bold flavor, but savory.
Yeah, definitely get the tang. What hits first for you guys? The salt, the garlic, the herbs, the pepper, like what?
I'm gonna say the garlic.
How do you guys feel about the fat?
I'm not a fan of fat, so I'm eating around it personally.
If it's dried out, it looks like it's part of the cut, I'll go in.
One thing a lot of people ignore is mouthfeel. I mean, what do you guys think texture? Is this dry? Is it crispy? Like, where would you guys kind of put this on the texture scale?
I think it's definitely like a more tender.
But it's a little inconsistent with the texture. I agree, but it depends on like kind of where you're eating from. The texture changes a little bit.
Any aftertaste? Anything still hanging around?
Yeah, I will say I'm getting more of a spice the longer I let it linger.
Give me a 1-sentence review of this jerky.
Really, really good and surpassed my expectations.
Whatever the price, it's worth the money.
Very interesting jerky experience. Now, is there anything you guys would change? Next time, make this any better?
I don't know what you could add to make it better, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. You know, I don't think this is, I don't think it's too rich in flavor. You know, I can probably eat quite a bit of this and not get sick of it.
Okay, final question. You're on a plane and the flight attendant offers you this or trail mix or M&Ms. Which one are you choosing?
Oh, easy.
Oh, easy.
This one's easy. That easy.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's it for us. Drop a comment with the weirdest thing you want to see turned into jerky next. And if you like this experiment, subscribe, because we're back to weekly uploads again and we got some crazy ideas planned for the future videos. Also, if you want to be one of our official taste testers and try brand new jerky flavors like this, check out the link down in our description. We drop limited time flavors every single month, and I don't want you to miss a single one. Thanks for watching this, and I'll see you next time here in our test kitchen.